Hello, students! Today we are going to learn one of the most useful and important parts of English grammar called the adjective. An adjective is a word that describes or gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. In simple terms, adjectives tell us what kind, which one, how many, what color, what size, or what quality a person, place, thing, or idea has. Without adjectives, our sentences would be very simple and less interesting. For example, if we say, I have a car, we know that a car exists, but we do not know anything about it. If we say, I have a new red car, the adjectives new and red give us more information about the car. Adjectives help us paint a clearer picture in the minds of our listeners and readers. They make our communication more detailed, vivid, and meaningful. Let us begin with adjectives that describe people. We use adjectives to talk about a person's appearance, personality, abilities, and emotions. Examples include kind, friendly, intelligent, hardworking, honest, patient, confident, generous, brave, polite, beautiful, handsome, tall, short, young, and old. For example, my teacher is kind and patient. The adjectives kind and patient describe the teacher. Another example is, the young student is very intelligent. Here, the adjectives young and intelligent give us more information about the student. In daily life, people often use adjectives when introducing others. For example, my manager is hardworking. My friend is friendly. The new employee is confident. These descriptions help people understand each other better. Adjectives can also describe places. Examples include beautiful, crowded, quiet, clean, dirty, modern, ancient, large, small, peaceful, and busy. For example, Cambodia is a beautiful country. The adjective beautiful describes the country. Another example is, the city is crowded during the holidays. Here, crowded describes the city. When traveling, people often use adjectives to talk about destinations. For example, the beach is peaceful. The hotel is modern. The market is busy. These adjectives help create a clearer image of the place being described. Another common use of adjectives is to describe things. Examples include big, small, heavy, light, expensive, cheap, useful, comfortable, soft, hard, strong, weak, colorful, and interesting. For example, this laptop is expensive. The adjective expensive describes the laptop. Another example is, the chair is comfortable. Here, comfortable describes the chair. At home, someone might say, I bought a new phone. At work, an employee might say, this software is useful. These adjectives provide valuable information about objects and products. Adjectives can also describe feelings and emotions. Examples include happy, sad, excited, nervous, angry, surprised, worried, relaxed, and proud. For example, the students are excited about the school trip. The adjective excited describes how the students feel. Another example is, she feels nervous before the interview. Here, nervous describes her emotional state. In everyday conversations, people often use emotional adjectives. For example, I am happy today. He is worried about the exam. We are proud of our achievements. These adjectives help us express our feelings clearly. Let us now learn about colors, which are also adjectives. Examples include red, blue, green, yellow, black, white, orange, purple, pink, and brown. For example, she is wearing a blue dress. The adjective blue describes the dress. Another example is, the black car belongs to my uncle. Here, black describes the car. Colors are among the first adjectives that English learners usually learn because they are used so frequently in daily conversations. Another important category is size adjectives. Examples include big, small, huge, tiny, tall, short, long, and narrow. For example, the elephant is a huge animal. The adjective huge describes the elephant. Another example is, the child lives in a small house. Here, small describes the house. When shopping, people often use size adjectives. For example, I need a large shirt. Do you have a smaller bag? These adjectives help us describe dimensions and measurements. Adjectives can also describe age. Examples include young, old, new, ancient, modern, and elderly. For example, the museum contains ancient artifacts. The adjective ancient describes the artifacts. Another example is, I bought a new computer. Here, new describes the computer. In everyday life, people frequently use age-related adjectives when discussing products, people, or historical places. Students should also learn about number adjectives. These adjectives tell us how many things there are. Examples include 1, 2, 3, several, many, few, and numerous. For example, I have 3 books. The adjective 3 describes the number of books. Another example is, many students attended the event. Here, many tells us the quantity of students. These adjectives are useful when discussing amounts, quantities, and numbers. Let us now talk about the position of adjectives in sentences. In most cases, adjectives come before the noun they describe. For example, a beautiful garden, a large building, a friendly teacher, and a delicious meal. However, adjectives can also come after certain verbs, especially the verb to be. For example, the garden is beautiful. The building is large. The teacher is friendly. The meal is delicious. Both structures are common and important in English. Another useful concept is comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives are used when comparing two people, places, or things. Examples include bigger, smaller, faster, slower, taller, shorter, happier, and more beautiful. For example, my car is faster than your car. Here, faster compares 2 cars. Another example is, she is taller than her sister. Comparative adjectives help us discuss differences between things. We also have superlative adjectives, which are used when comparing 3 or more people, places, or things. Examples include biggest, smallest, fastest, tallest, happiest, and most beautiful. For example, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Another example is, she is the smartest student in the class. Superlative adjectives help us identify the extreme quality within a group. Now let us practice adjectives in real-life situations. Imagine you are at school. You may hear sentences such as, the new teacher is friendly. The difficult exam begins tomorrow. The large classroom can hold many students. The intelligent student answered every question. In these examples, adjectives provide more information about people, places, and things. At home, adjectives are used constantly. For example, the delicious dinner is ready. The comfortable sofa is in the living room. The small dog is sleeping. The clean kitchen looks nice. These adjectives help family members describe their surroundings more clearly. In the workplace, adjectives are equally important. For example, the important meeting starts at 9 o'clock. The experienced manager leads the team. The successful company continues to grow. The detailed report impressed the client. Professional communication often relies on adjectives to describe performance, products, and situations accurately. Adjectives are also useful when traveling. For example, the beautiful beach attracted many tourists. The crowded airport was busy all day. The friendly tour guide helped us. The luxurious hotel provided excellent service. These descriptions make travel stories more interesting and engaging. Let us look at a short story filled with adjectives. One sunny morning, a young boy walked through a beautiful park. The green trees swayed gently in the warm breeze. He saw a small brown dog playing near a colorful flower garden. The friendly dog approached the boy and wagged its long tail. The happy boy smiled and gave the dog a delicious treat. Notice how the adjectives make the story vivid and enjoyable. Without adjectives, the story would be much less descriptive. Now let us practice some useful real-life sentences. Repeat these sentences aloud. My teacher is kind and patient. The red car is very expensive. This book is interesting. The hotel was clean and comfortable. My brother is hardworking. The weather is beautiful today. The restaurant serves delicious food. The large building is near the park. She is the smartest student in the class. The friendly cashier helped me quickly. Practicing these sentences will help you become more comfortable using adjectives naturally. English learners often make mistakes with adjectives. For example, some students say, the car red, instead of the red car. Others may say, she is more taller, instead of she is taller. Another common mistake is confusing adjectives and adverbs. For example, she is a careful driver, uses the adjective careful because it describes a noun. However, she drives carefully uses the adverb carefully because it describes a verb. Understanding this difference is important for accurate grammar. One excellent way to improve your use of adjectives is to observe the world around you and describe what you see. For example, look around your room and say, I have a large desk. The white wall is clean. My comfortable chair is near the window. This simple exercise helps you connect adjectives with real objects and situations. Another effective activity is describing people you know. For example, my mother is kind and hardworking. My best friend is funny and intelligent. My manager is professional and organized. This practice helps students expand their vocabulary and improve their speaking skills. Adjectives are extremely important in communication because they make language more colorful and precise. Instead of saying, I saw a house, you can say, I saw a beautiful white house. Instead of saying, I met a person, you can say, I met a friendly young person. These details help listeners and readers understand your message more clearly. In conclusion, adjectives are an essential part of English grammar because they describe nouns and pronouns. They help us talk about appearance, personality, size, color, age, quantity, emotions, and many other qualities. By learning different types of adjectives and practicing them in real-life situations, students can make their English more descriptive, interesting, and effective. Practice adjectives every day in speaking, writing, reading, and listening. Pay attention to how native speakers use adjectives in conversations, books, movies, and podcasts. The more adjectives you learn and use, the more expressive and confident your English communication will become. Remember, adjectives add color, detail, and life to language, helping us describe the world around us in a richer and more meaningful way. Have a good day. See you next episode.